Hello, boys and girls. It's Malaia, and today I'm going to be reading you a amazing story. And I think while Wallach is here, you're going to listen to it too, okay? This story, it's called Horton Here's a Who by Dr. Seuss. Let's get started. On the 15th of May, in the jungle of Knoll, the heat of the day and the cool of the pool, he was splashing, enjoying the jungle's great joys, when Horton the elephant heard a small noise. And there's Horton in the jungle of Knoll. So Horton stopped splashing. He looked towards the sound. That's funny, thought Horton. There's no one around. Then he heard it again, just a very faint "yoop," as if some tiny person was calling for help. "I'll help you," said Horton. "But who are you? Where?" He looked and he looked. He could see nothing there but a small speck of dust floating through the air. And as you can see, we have Horton and a small speck of dust, it looks like. Okay, let's continue. "I say," muttered Horton, "I've never heard tell of a small speck of dust that is able to yell. So you know what I think? Why, I think that there must be someone on top of that small speck of dust, some sort of a creature of very small size, too small to be seen by an elephant's eyes." And as you can see, Horton's looking at this small speck of dust, and he's wondering, oh, there must be someone there. All right, let's continue. Some poor little person who's shaking with fear. Little blow in the pool. He has no way to steer. I'll just have to save him because, after all, a person's a person, no matter how small. So, gently and using the greatest of care, the elephant stretched his great trunk through the air. He lifted the dust speck and carried it over and placed it down safe on a very soft clover. Oh, sorry. Wrong page. There's Horton placing it on a clover. Huffed a voice. 'Twas a sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in her pouch said, too. "Why, is that a speck? As small as the head of a pin. A person on that? Why, there never has been!" And then that's the kangaroo and the kid in her pouch. Next page. "Believe me," said Horton, "I'll tell you sincerely. My ears are quite keen, and I heard him quite clearly. I know there's a person down there, and what's more, quite likely there's two, even three, even four. Quite likely a family for all that we know. a family with children just starting to grow. So please, Horton said, as a favor to me, do not disturb him. Just please let them be. And then we have a little Who family on top of the little powder puff. I think you're a fool, laughed the sour kangaroo. And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, Me too. You're the biggest blame fool in the jungle of Nool. And the kangaroos plunged into the cool of the pool. What terrible splashing! The elephant frowned. I can't let my very small persons get drowned. I've got to protect them. I'm bigger than they. So he plucked up the clover and hustled away. Through the high jungle treetops, the news quickly spread. He talks to a dust speck. He's out of his head. Just look at him walk with that speckle in a flower. And Horton walked, worrying almost an hour. Shall I put the speck down? Horton thought with alarm. If I do, these small persons may come to great harm. I can't put them down. I won't, after all. A person's a person, no matter how small. Then Horton stopped walking. The speck voice was talking. The voice was so faint you could just barely hear it. Speak up, please, said Horton, but his ear needed. My friend, came the voice. You're a very fine friend. You've helped all us folks on this dust speck no end. You've saved all our houses, our ceilings and floors, saved all our churches and grocery stores. You mean? Horton gasped. You have buildings there too? Oh yes, piped the voice. We most certainly do. I know, called the voice. I'm too small to be seen, but I'm the mayor of the town that is friendly and clean. Our buildings to you would seem terribly small, but to us they aren't big, they are wonderfully tall. My town is called Whoville, for I am a Who, and we are the Whos, all thankful and grateful to you. And Horton called back to the mayor of the town. You're safe now. Don't worry. I won't let you down. All Whos and Whos. They snatched Horton's. But just as he spoke to the mayor of the speck, three big jungle monkeys climbed up on Horton's neck. The Wickersham brothers came shouting. What rot! This elephant's talking to Whos and who are not. They aren't any Whos. They don't have a mayor. And we're all going to stop this nonsense. So there. They snatched Horton's clover. They carried it off to a black-bottomed eagle named Val Vicadaw, a mighty strong eagle of very swift wing. And they said, Will you kindly get rid of this thing? And before the poor elephant could even speak, that eagle flew off with the flower in its beak. Those are the people that snatched Horton's clover. And that's the eagle that they asked to carry it off. There's Horton down there, all alone inside. All that late afternoon and far into the night, that black-bottomed bird flapped his wings in fast flight, while Horton chased after with groans over stones that tattered his toenails and battered his bones, and begged, Please don't harm all my little folks who have as much right to live as bigger folks do. But far, far beyond him the eagle kept flapping, and over his shoulder called back, "Quit your yappin'! I'll fly through the night through. I'm a bird, I don't mind it, and I'll hide this tomorrow where you'll never find it." And at 6:56 the next morning he did it. It was sure a terrible place that he hid it. He let a small clover drop somewhere inside of that great patch of clovers 100 miles wide. "Find that!" sneered the bird, "but I think you will fail." And he left with a flip of his black-bottomed tail. Oh no. Then on through the afternoon, hour after hour, till he found them at last, the 3 millionth flower. Oh, let's skip a page. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. I skipped a page. "I'll find it!" cried Horton. "I'll find it or bust! I shall find my friends on my small speck of dust." And clover by clover with care, he picked up and searched them, and called, "Are you there?" But clover by clover, he found that one he sought for was just not found. And by noon poor old Horton, more dead than alive, had picked, searched, and piled up 9,005. Then on through the afternoon, hour after hour, he found them at last, on the 3 millionth flower. "My friends," cried the elephant, "do tell me, are you safe? Are you sound? Are you whole? Are you well?" From down on the speck of dust came the voice of a mare. "We've really had trouble, much more than our share. When that black-bottomed birdie let us go and we dropped, we landed so hard that all our clocks have stopped. Our teapots are broken, our rocking chair smashed, our bicycle tires all blown up when we crashed. So Horton, please," pleaded the voice of the mares, "will you please stick by us who's when we're making repairs?" "Of course," Horton answered. "Of course I will stick. I'll stick by you small folks through thin and through thick." And all the who's and all their broken things. The voice. "For almost 2 days you've unrowed and insisted on chanting with persons who never existed. Such carrying on in our peaceful jungle. We've had quite enough of your bellowing bungle. And I'm here to state," snapped the big kangaroo, "that your silly nonsensical game is all through." And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, "Me too." Uh-oh, this isn't good. I have a feeling. With the help of the Wickersham brothers and dozens of Wickersham uncles and Wickersham cousins and Wickersham in-laws, whose help I've engaged, you're going to be roped. You're going to be caged. And as for your dust speck, that we shall boil in a hot steaming kettle of bezel nut oil. "Boil it?" gasped Horton. "Oh, that you can't do. It's all full of persons. They'll prove it to you." Oh, I hope so. Or else all the ooze are going to be gone. That's not good. "Mr. Mayor! Mr. Mayor!" Sorry, wrong voice. "Mr. Mayor! Mr. Mayor!" Horton called. "Mr. Mayor! You've got to prove now that you are really there. So call a big meeting. Get everyone out. Make every who holler. Make every who shout. Make every who scream. If you don't, every who is gonna end up in a bezel nut stew." That's not good. Ooh, bezel nut stew. Persons. And down on the dust speck, the scared little mare quick called a big meeting in the Whoville town square. And his people cried loudly. They cried out in fear, "We are here! We are here! We are here! We are here!" All the who's in Whoville crying, "We are here!" All right.